Hey, what is up, everybody? Those people that are viewing this live on LinkedIn or on YouTube, I have not seen y'all in a while. Yes, I have posted some posts, and those of you guys don't want to forget the most important crowd, those people who are listening on the podcast, on Spotify or on Apple or anywhere that you listen to the podcast. I have been MIA for a little bit with the podcast. I am going to just cut right straight to it. I am going to just dump the next like 3-4 episodes of season 3, and then we're going to end it. I have a couple more guests. I'll probably do a solo pod, and then I'm going to end season 3 and start in season 4 because I'm really excited for season 4. No offense to anyone that was on season 3. Season 3 was meant to be for a personal development, and I had a lot of really good people on personal development. It just didn't hit the way I envisioned it. Have you ever done that? Like, you see something at the mall, right? You see like an outfit, and you get the same exact shirt and maybe tie and pants, and you go into the dressing room, you try it on, and you're like, yeah, that's not what it looked like. Like, it looks different, right? That's kind of what happened with season 3. I had this vision for personal development. We're going to go right before January, February, March, April, May. Getting into June, we'll end it. We'll have all these really cool people with personal development. And it just didn't hit the way I wanted to. Did they bring value? Yes. Did I get a lot of emails and DMs saying that podcast episode really spoke to me? Yes. I don't want to take any value from that. And I don't want to seem, even though it's going to seem like it, like I'm just ending season 3, because I kind of am, but I don't want it to seem like I'm just so excited for season 4. So if you need help with personal development, it's on their goal setting, 5-year plans, looking within. But this episode right now is kind of like a plug for ending season 3 and getting into season 4. So let's just get into it, because I'm going to get some interruptions coming here pretty soon. My son's going to be getting out of school. My other boys that are out of school already are going to be coming home from graduation parties, things like that. So I want to get this kind of wrapped up kind of quickly. But the season 3 going into season 4 is mainly the main purpose is, how do I help myself, right? There's a saying, how do I become a better me so I can be a better we? How can I serve myself, be selfish in this moment to get better? And maybe it's good timing right now and not just a January thing when I first had this thought process, but those people who are in education, because that's a lot of the listening crowd. But summer break, maybe you go on vacation, you've been using vacation, you have vacation time, you're going to use it, and you're going to start off brand new come whenever, July, August, September. Let this be a resting season and revamping. So dig into season 3, but this is what I want. Season 4 is going to be development in your position as a leader. So let me just flirt with you a little bit with who is coming on the podcast. Let me go to my other folder here, and I don't have necessarily anything to show you, but I need some remembrance in all the guests. So I have Juan Taveras, who's going to be bringing in his knowledge from HR. The questions that I ask him, I told him coming up, like, bro, I am going to be upfront with you, and I'm going to ask you some tough questions. You're coming from HR. Why does HR have such a bad rap? Why does HR seem like they are the enemy of the staff? Like, it should be human resources. Human resources. And how come I don't feel like I'm treated like a human? And how come I'm not getting any resources? Yes, benefits and stuff like that, but people don't even want to go to HR anymore. He answers those questions. It's a great podcast. His angle to it is amazing. Then I have Dan. Dan's podcast is from a really true, authentic leadership perspective, from business, entrepreneurship, and really good in that. Then I have Scott Rupp. Scott has a ton of wisdom. He's kind of like, and no knock on ages here, but he kind of has that like older brother, uncle, dad, just so much wisdom where you're just kind of just sit there and listen to his take on leadership. Excited about that. I have Emily Sander. Emily worked for a lot of people like Apple and Google and Amazon. I'm not quite sure if it's Amazon or not, but she has a really good take on the C-suite level of leadership. Just how do we get like high performance? How do we dig into those people at that level? I have Andrea Johnson, who brings a little bit of personal development and leadership when we talk about difficult times, right? Everybody goes through difficult times. We lose somebody, we get sick, we get maybe a diagnosis that we don't like. And during this time, I want to say the day prior to our interview, the bridge in, I'm going to mess this up. Please forgive me. Baltimore? Was it Baltimore? The bridge that collapsed. She's familiar with that area. She's familiar with that bridge. She used it a lot. And so she understands that there's people there. And so she's in communication with them. And how do we go to work and show up when we have bad news? So that I think is important for the leader. Like, how do you become empathetic for a staff who's going through something when you're like, bro, there's also work that needs to be done? How are you as a staff empathetic to coworkers that aren't picking up their weight at work when they're going through something? I have family friends who have lost children, who have lost parents, who have lost sisters and brothers, and they still have to show up every single day. I know people who are in leadership positions who have been diagnosed with cancer, who are going to get radiation treatment and still going to work to lead. What the heck? How do we show up every single day? So that's a great one too. I will then be dropping a podcast that I was on already. You actually can listen to it now. That I was on. It was a leadership podcast. I'm going to put that in. All leading up to probably one of my favorites. Again, Juan and Dan and all these people that I talked about are all phenomenal podcasts. Every time I'm on, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite podcasts. Oh my gosh, this one was my favorite. Oh man, this one. So if we had like top 5, top 10, this season 4 is one of the best. And I was kind of milling over this. Do I save this podcast episode, for the beginning of the podcast of season 4, or do I end it with this podcast episode? My podcast with John Kidwell. Now, I am a guest on his podcast, really good podcast. When I tell you that John and what he does at Leadwell, I would leave everything that I'm doing and go work for him. Like, he's just that kind of leader. You'll hear it in his voice. You'll hear it in his passion, in his empathy, and his compassion for staff, and just quality leadership. So, John, if you listen to this episode, I honestly don't know where I'm going to put you on season 4. I don't know if I want to be in the beginning and just hit you hard with a great punch, or finish season 4 with a bang and have John. But shoot, man, I don't know. Maybe I put it in the beginning and then I bring him on again and we close out the session with him. But I will tell you exactly what I told him. John, let me just be honest. No bullshit. You have to be this next generation's John Maxwell. Not the fact that he's got the same name as John, right? Different Jon, not John. But when you hear the way John Kidwell leads, you can hear a young John Maxwell. You see the wisdom. And he's not even that old of a guy. Like, you would think like grandpa wisdom is in this young dude's like heart and mind. He has a book. I have and we'll get into this towards the end of this podcast. But he has a book, and I bought it for a mastermind group that I was working with, and I bought them all a copy, those that attended, and he's great. One of my favorites. He doesn't know this, but he's leading me and he's mentoring me with his book and his podcast. But yes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes for season 4 already, and I'm just sitting on it. because I wanted to finish out season 3. So season 3 is again, it's going to finish up. I'll do one solo pod. I think I have a girl named Emily to put on, and then Kevin. I think you pronounce his name Pulmonary with Next Level University. He's it's a good podcast there, all on personal development. I'll end season 3, and then we'll take a little bit of a break, and then season 4 is how do I take notes, college class course, and build up my leadership for this next half season, this next half of the last half of the year. So July, August, September, October, November, December. This is going to be your time to build up your leadership. So let's end season 3 in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get into season 4. But a couple announcements. I really want to work on, again, personal development and professional development. And I had a founders group that we launched, and it's all on advanced leadership. How do I go from a leader? How do I shift my thought process to a servant leader? And then once we get to that point, or if you're there already, how do we then shift to a stewardship? How do I become a leader of steward? How do I steward my position, steward my people? How do I become a steward for the organization or the people that I work for? So that's what this group is. And so if you're interested in joining this group, just send me a DM on any platform: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, my email, juan@weraisethebar.com, anything like that. And let's collab in this leader shift, if you will, in leadership. So it's going to be a 90-day program. So let me just tell you what you get for 90 days. For 90 days, you get the leadership course. You have me in person every week for 90 days. You have an online portion, so you can go through modules on that on your own time. If you miss a call, there will be replays on that account on your platform. And then what's going to happen is it's also going to come with your Gallup strengths. So we're going to go through Gallup strengths. So if you've already taken Gallup strengths, and you have your top 5, I will give you your rest of your 34. If you have your 34 already and you're like, Juan, I don't need Gallup strengths because I already have it, I will give you your strengths for your choice. Leadership, Clifton strengths for managers, or your Clifton strengths for leadership. So I don't know if you know this, but there is a different kind of layout, if you will, for those. I will give that to you. Either way, I don't know anybody, unless it's you, that has their top 5, their full 34, their leadership and management strengths. So if you want your strengths, that's going to be part of the group. So you get weekly calls for 90 days. You get the online course to go through that and all the replays and the content. The podcast will be dropped on the platform first before it goes live. So you'll get it a week in advance. You get your strengths. You get a strengths training. You get a one-on-one training. So without the group, you just one-on-one training, and the group training. What else? Oh, I buy gifts for you. So it could be a shirt, like a group shirt. I'm working on those. But a book. I try to bring in like John Kidwell and buy the book. I have a bunch of these, the Compassionate Samurai. That might be a book that we go through, but we'll go over a leadership book also together, but just tons of content for this group. So if you're interested, just DM me the word leader, either comment it on LinkedIn, comment it on YouTube, or on my Instagram if you follow me there, Facebook, anywhere that you have access to me. DM me the word leadership, and I will send you the interest form for that. That's going to be launching soon, so I'm excited that. So, a couple announcements: the end of season 3, the crazy greatness of season 4, and then the third announcement being the leadership cohort. And so, I got a lot of really good feedback from the founders group, and we're going to be starting that up in August. So, if you're looking for a community of leaders that can pour into you, can hear you out, that you can get your Clifton strengths, your training on that. Oh, here's the other thing when it comes to that. You will also be given a platform for strengths for you to watch videos on each strength in detail. I go over blind spots, what it looks like if you have the strengths, what it looks like if you don't have the strength. There is I'm going to be real with you, watch the language if there's kids around, a shit ton of value in this. There's a lot. Again, you get the group call, you get the one-on-one, you get your strengths, whatever one of your choice. You get the library of videos, you get a one-on-one 90 days. And then after that's done, you can commit to the rest of the year, month to month. But yeah, if you're interested, DM me the word leader and I'll get you that. The start of Kick-Ass season 4 with a bunch of great leaders. And then if you work for an organization and you guys have a day for professional development, if you work for a school and you have your welcome back kickoff, or you work for an after school program or any type of thing where you guys have your training. I'm doing a travel, right? I'm going, I'll be in Tempe, Arizona. I'll be in Dallas, Texas, Laredo, Texas. I'll be in Ohio in 3 different spots in Ohio, Columbus, Lancaster, and Akron, Ohio, up and down California. They already say Tempe, Arizona, just a whole bunch of different areas. So I say that to say, if you guys have a kickoff training, if you have a welcome back closing, whatever it is, and you need a keynote, or you're looking for a leadership training or staff training, if you just DM me the word training, I'll send you the information and the interest on that, or you can bring me in. If you're like, hey, Juan, budget is tight right now. What I'm doing is I'm getting multiple organizations that have a quote unquote tight budget, and we're doing things together. So everyone's going to contribute the budget so they can bring me in. And there's a couple places where I'm there for, like, I'm in Ohio for 3 or 4 days in October, which is dope. And I'm going to stay there to make sure that everybody gets value poured into them. That's just the kind of person I want to be. That's the kind of person and leader I wish that I had in all the places that I've worked. I want to lead you to greatness. And so if any of those things interest you, just DM me the word leader if you're interested in that leadership cohort that's going to be starting in August. If you're looking for training or keynote speaker opening or closing, DM me the word training and I'll get you the information on that. Whew, a lot of stuff. Juan, give me a little bit of value before we leave. I will. Spend time with yourself. Spend time with your family before the craziness happens. Kids are on summer break. Staff might be on summer break. You might need a vacation. Stay in where you need. We're still in season 3, so I want to do more personal development stuff, but take time. I have written on my board, what if, right? Check this out. What if I post every day, which I haven't done, so shame on me. What if I post every day? What if I work out every day? What if I read every day? What if I was to send out 10 emails every day? And what if I pray every day? I'm probably running at like 90%. I'm trying to get 100%. We're going to fail, and that's okay. But every day, don't try to do it for a week. Just today, how do I get that done? How do I check those boxes intentionally? So for you, how do I rest today? How do I take time for myself today? How do I take time just for me and my spouse today? How do I take specific and intentional time for my kids today? Can you be intentional with your health, both mentally, physically, spiritually? Can you be intentional with your spouse? Can you be intentional with your kids? I need to read every single day, 10 pages. My boys and I are going to start 75 Hard, which is like a personal development thing. Two 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside. Read 10 pages a day. Drink a gallon of water. Stick to a diet. No cheat days or cheat meals. 75 days. It's not a lot, man. You have 365 days. 75 of them, be dialed in. What could happen? What if you just did something? So my last question to you before I go, what are you committed to? Every single day we have to commit to something. What are you committed to? I'm committed to my wife. I'm committed to my boys. What does that commitment look like? What does that feel like? What does it sound like? What does success look like in that commitment? How do I commit myself to my business? How do I commit myself to my leadership? How do I commit myself to myself, right? What does that look like? So right now, as we end this, what are you committed to? Make a commitment every single day and stick with it. God bless. I love you. And we will speak with you soon. Don't forget about season 3, season 4, DMing me the word leadership or DMing me the word training. All right. See ya.